difficult for us to find them, but we just have to look a little bit closer. And if you guys look over to the right-hand side, you can kind of see the okapi back there. Now, most people see the okapi and assume that's related to a zebra because of those black and white stripes. It's actually related to a giraffe, though. And right over here on the left-hand side, that's the bongo you're seeing right up there. Those people, these are actually called the ghosts of the forest because they are so rarely seen. Notice their horns kind of tilt backwards, and some of them run through any tangled brush that they encounter out here. This animal that you're seeing right over on the left-hand side, that's the greater kudu. They're a larger animal. They stand about 5 feet tall at the shoulder. You can tell that one's a female because she doesn't have any horns on top of her head. Now we're also in a pretty common area to find the black rhino too. You have to really look for them because sometimes when they're sleeping they tend to blend in with the rocks. Actually seeing one. It's going to be right around this corner here on the left-hand side. And these are the black rhinos, and they do weigh about 3,000 pounds when they're fully grown. They can charge at a speed of about 35 miles per hour. These guys are actually becoming pretty uncommon though because they're being poached for their horns, which contain keratin. That's also common in us too. It's found in our fingernails and our hair, but because of this poaching, there's less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the world today, so there's not very many out there.
Okay.
It looks like it's just about it for the forest. So we're going to head out and try and find some flatter grounds where it might be a little bit easier to find these animals. First, so we're going to head through the Safi River, which is a very common area to find many different bird species. They also tend to find hippos throughout this area though, so make sure to keep your eyes open for them. Now, hippos can be a little bit more difficult to find because they do spend most of their time during the day submerged in the water. They can actually hold their breath for about 5 to 8 minutes at a time. So they might be there, but we might not always see them.
Il y a beaucoup d'air, il y a des petits... il y en a... Oh, il va y en avoir un beau, là. Là, ça va passer, là, un beau,
Now, if you guys look over to the left, there's actually some hippos right over here. See one up for air there. And hippos are one of the largest and most dangerous animals in Africa. They weigh about 5,500 pounds and they're fully grown. When the baby calves are first born, they'll weigh about 85 pounds. You notice there's gray pelicans over there on the island. Those are the pink-backed pelicans. You might not notice too much pink on their backs right now, but during mating season, their feathers do turn a very pretty shade of pink. They're also pretty large birds because their wingspan can reach about 5 to 6 feet long. Now, if you guys look over to the left-hand side, as we go over this bridge, those are Nile crocodiles that you're seeing over here. These guys can reach about 20 feet long when they're fully grown. They live to be about 45 years old when they're out in the wild, but then living in captivity, though, they can live to be about 80. Actually, when you see a group of them, they do have 2 group names. When you see them in the water, they're called boats. When you see them out on land, they're called a bass. It does look like we're starting to head into the savannah, and you guys will notice as we get into the lower grasslands that it is heavily influenced by the animals that live here. The antelope eat the grass and kind of act as a natural lawnmower to our environment. Then the giraffes eat the leaves off the trees, so they kind of prune them as they go and keep them in very good shape. One of the first things that you're going to see as we enter the savannah, it's actually a very interesting tree. If you guys look over to the right, that tree is called the baobab tree. Now most people do call this the upside down tree because it looks like the roots are sticking straight up in the air. It's actually just leafless though about 9 months out of the year. And the tree will store all the water it can absorb in its trunk so it can survive long periods without any water. It'll help it to live hundreds of years, and it can grow to be about 75 feet tall, 60 feet in diameter.
Je peux prendre des photos comme ça, là. C'est très beau, c'est très grand. Trop proche, là. Le paysage. C'est ça le paysage africain.
Huh? If you guys notice that one small antelope on the right there as you get to the bottom of this hill, that's a springbok that you're seeing. They stand about 3 feet tall at the shoulder, and they actually get their name from their ability to spring about 13 feet straight up in the air. So the springbok are pretty powerful. You can actually do this kind of repeatedly in a running motion about